A few years ago, we purchased this old stone barn in the foothills of the Italian Alps and set off on the process of restoring it back to its former glory and into our dream home. The house itself sits on a steep portion of land with a dozen stone terraces that date back nearly 800 years. We took on this project without any experience and without any clue how we would manage to get through it. This is a story of stepping so far outside of our comfort zone that the only way through was to just keep pushing, keep learning, and the belief that little by little, stone by stone, we would build this into a beautiful home. Every week we release new videos documenting the process, and we would love to have you follow along. But for now, allow us to back up and recap everything we have built in the first 2 years. The first few months were all about infrastructure. We built a temporary outdoor kitchen to keep us fed and to make coffee, built an off-grid power solution as we had no other form of electricity, built a composting outhouse, a garden with a beautiful stone pathway, and numerous other small projects outside that helped build up the confidence and inspiration to tackle the real work inside. Our first large project on the interior of the house was the grueling process of removing the original stone floor and to dig down in order to meet the modern-day code requirements of having a crawl space. Even though people did live here around 100 years ago, it was only legally classified as a barn, so we have to meet present-day code requirements to be allowed to live here. Because we had to dig so deep to create the crawl space, certain parts of the house, like the stone staircase, had to be underpinned with a new foundation.
Can you use your super strength to knock this out? Good job. And then give it a good whop. There you go. Pull it out. There
Oh my! Oh, this shit.
There we go.
Wow!
That was so nice.
It's close.
So it's not perfect, but it's not terrible. At least from the normal perspective, looking from here, it looks great. It's gonna be a long day.
When we purchased the barn, the beams had already been replaced with new wood and simply didn't match the character of the original wood. We decided to take them through an aging process and add that character back in. Many new beams needed to be added for door openings, and as much as possible, Bradey hand-hewed these beams from trees off of the property. The fastest way to remove the old lime render was to power wash it off. This process was very satisfying as it revealed the true beauty of these dry stack stone walls. As a contrast to the dark beams, we whitewashed new floorboards that would act both as a ceiling to the lower floor as well as the subfloor to the upstairs.
So fast, we'll have time to actually screw some of the boards down today.
Yay!
It is very important to us to involve the girls as much as possible. In the end, this is a family project.
Cooper! This one is done.
Alright, Courtney, another squeeze.
Daddy, we're finished.
Okay, ready? I'm sorry, I'm like super emotional just coming in here and seeing this because I'll look up when this house is finished and see the ceiling and it'll look like that. And this journey has been quite challenging so far, and we've only just begun, really. We're building a beautiful life here.
I'm actually going to have you cut these boards for me, okay? Have you ever used this tool? I can't remember.
Maybe.
I'm a product of my granddad's son. Hard-working hands and a job well done. Skin as thick as railroad ties, and you could see the kindness in his eyes. I didn't want to do what he did, but I always wanted to be just like him. Strong enough to stay and fight, a man enough to do what's right. His blood is in my own.
And we're finished.
Yay! For the day.
The original foundation of this house was a dry stack stone foundation, and because of the amount of excavation we were required to do, this foundation did not run deep enough in many areas.
Paper planes fly me to outer space. That's where I'll see your face and have you with me. May seem dark, but you always light my spark in my heart. Since the start.
The process of carefully propping up the stones and pouring a new foundation underneath them was tedious, a little dangerous, but necessary to move forward.
Let's see how it looks. Ooh.
The final room was impossible to dig by hand, as the entire floor was solid rock. We barely managed to fit an excavator through the door, and used this excavator to dig through the rock in order to build the required crawl space. As the renovation process was about to kick off in high gear, we did not have enough space on the small terrace to store our building materials. We used an excavator to dig back into the mountain to create more space, which also gave us more building stones that we would use later on.
You're hired, kid.
Terrifying!
You can do about 20 more and then we'll be done, okay?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
What do you think? Is that fun?
Yeah!
Alright, do you want to put a mushroom on it? These are called mushrooms.
Mushroom!
It was finally time to start pouring the foundation, starting with the concrete footings around all four sides of each room. To connect each room under the crawl space, we had to dig holes in order to pass pipes and electrical lines through.
Alright, who's ready to go mix cement?
We're making cement!
Our favorite memory in this entire process will be mixing concrete as a family,
Whoa, that was really heavy.
pouring the crawl space floor,
Yay!
stomping out the concrete, and smoothing out the floor together.
So, Heather, if I told you 2 or 3 years ago that you would be leveling a concrete floor in a stone house in the foothills of the Italian Alps now.
I would have probably told you were crazy. Look at this floor! We did it!
Girls.
It looks so good!
Yes.
Are you proud of yourselves?
Chips.
Chips.
Chips are the reward.
Well, it is dinner time.
Yes, it
Let's go get a
is.
pizza. But look,
Oh, yeah.
Pizza gelato.
girls, you
Yes.
should be very proud of yourselves.
Next, it was time to tear down this old cistern that was no longer usable in order to make room for a new addition. It was finally time to kick this restoration project into high gear, so we brought in the dream team to move things forward. As you'll see, this floor system we are installing requires numerous different layers, starting with an air gap built with these clay bricks to prevent moisture from rising up through the floor.
So today I have the massive privilege of working with Alessio and Carlo. I say it's a huge privilege because working alongside two people like that with such a deep level of experience, specifically with how they build stone houses in this area, with that level of expertise passed down from generation to generation, that to me is priceless. That's probably a reoccurring thing that you'll hear me say over and over through the following weeks and months as we're hopefully working together.
As we shifted focus to the new room, we began to build out the foundation, mixing all of the concrete by hand. As we built out this new room, we wanted it to match the existing house as closely as possible, so all the walls were built using hand-shaped stones that came from the property. We used only stones that we had collected through the excavation process.
Fai? Piano, eh?
Sì. Così?
Tira. Molto bene.
So this is a big moment here, replacing the stone for the window.
Ah, ma tanto non arriva. Quanto lo fai avanzare?
Un po' di qua.
Sta?
No. Niente.
Non porta questo, eh. Vai, vai, vai. Poggia sul pannello. Vai, su, su. No, vai.
As we placed the wood beams that Bradey hand-hewed from our own trees, we could really see this new room coming together.
Wow. Very good.
Finito? Eh? Alleluia! Alleluia!
Bravo. The last stone for this wall.
Ah!
Molto bello. Molto bello. Caffè, pronto. Bello.
Ehi!
Molto bello.
Ole! Qua! Attenzione!
Hey, we have a door.
Chiodi che ti chiudi.
Well, there we go. We have the start of a door opening.
The original house was built without many internal doors, so in order to connect the rooms, we had to open up some doorways. We enlarged the door to the kids' room, created a new door to our bedroom,
Hello.
and created a doorway to connect the kitchen to the entryway.
Hi, buddy. Hey, I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Oh, I missed you.
I miss you too.
It has been a day, but we have to show the boss.
Am I the boss?
You're the boss. Come on in.
Are you the boss or am I the boss?
Come on in. That's a big hole, isn't it?
Oh dear. That's exciting though.
Isn't it?
Pinch me, pinch me.
Are you dreaming?
Isn't that crazy?
I was like, why is there so many stones here?
Well, you wanted a big open door.
That's big. I'm excited.
Oh, very good.
Bellissimo.
We wanted to create something special for the doorway into the kitchen, so we decided to create a larger arched doorway to really enhance the beauty of these stone walls.
Looks like a cake.
Molto bene! Cosa?
So Alessio and Carlo are making quick work of the stone archway. We've actually finished the stone archway and now we're building up above on top of it.
Building back up these doorways was a slow labor of love, and we couldn't believe how beautiful the house was beginning to look.
Oh my goodness.
True, right?
Oh. It's so pretty.
That's
Wow.
honestly, it's way better than I expected.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's so thick, there's so much to appreciate.
Yeah.
Molto bello, see? I'll get a close-up shot in a minute here, but wow, it looks incredible. A lot of work getting to this point, but worth it, worth every minute. That's something, right?
Wow.
It's something.
It's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cool to see it come together, isn't it?
I'm speechless.
The back wall of several rooms was built up against the mountain with no way to stop moisture from coming into the house. So we lined the wall with plastic, built an internal gutter system, and then built a new brick wall. To finish off the new room, the back wall still needed to be finished, which we poured out of concrete.
Very good.
Oh, come on. There we go. Coffee break.
Ooh, thank you.
We lost track of how many concrete mixes we had to do for this room, but it was something to the equivalent of 4 concrete truck deliveries. Because the road is so steep driving to the property, having a truck deliver concrete would have been impossible, so everything had to be mixed by hand.
I can't reach.
Batista!
It's a coffee break. Oh, attente.
Oh yeah!
Molto bravo.
Ready up.
Well, one thing that has really supported our energy levels getting through this renovation process is our daily habit of drinking AG1. AG1 is a daily foundational nutritional supplement packed with 75 high-quality vitamins and minerals, sourced from whole food ingredients, and supports your mental clarity, focus on energy, and supports your immune system. We've been drinking AG1 for about 2 years now and recommend it to all of our friends and family. The differences that I've noticed are a big boost in my energy levels and the fact that it supports my stress response, promotes a more relaxed feeling, as well as supports my gut health. AG1 is just packed full of vitamins and minerals and probiotics and all of that general goodness that helps fill the nutritional gaps that you may be having and helps nourish your body. The ingredients included in AG1 not only help support healthy aging, but also supports cardiovascular health, cellular health, brain support, and even combats the visible signs of aging. So yes, I realize it looks a little bit like a blended salad, but it tastes like anything but that. To me, it has hints of pineapple, apple. It's a little bit sweet, but not too sweet, very refreshing. It's something that I enjoy drinking and not just drink for the health benefits. It really has made a big difference in our life, and with a new year right around the corner, which is crazy, I do recommend that you give it a try. And right now, AG1 has a special promotion going on, so if you check out the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen, you can get 5 free travel packs with your first purchase, along with a year's supply of vitamin D3 and K2. So go ahead, check out the website, and thank you so much to AG1 for sponsoring today's video.
Now that all the walls were finished to the new room, it was time to pour the reinforced concrete terrace, starting first by laying out the rebar grid, followed by lots more concrete. So today is a very exciting day because we are building stairs up to our balcony, up to our terrace.
Oh, molto very good. No, basta, no, no. No, basta. No, no,
Basta, sì.
no, due.
We built up a few new walls in order to close off a new bathroom space. We used metal studs to frame out the other wall to the bathroom, as well as the exterior walls to the house.
Okay.
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with featherweight like bows, on the well where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow.
To maintain the original character of the house, to each window we added a hand-hewed wood beam.
Very good.
One of the most challenging and dangerous projects we took on was to enlarge the exterior barn doors on either side of the house and to replace the rotting wood beams.
At some point, these large stones will just crumble down. I'm not going to be able to take them out carefully.
Yeah.
At least I don't think I will be able to.
Okay, risolto il problema. Okay. Easy.
In the end, everything went smoothly and the new beams were placed above the doorway.
Okay. Okay. Vai a te.
Sì, prendi dietro.
Cacambrata. Vai. Alza. Spingi. Vai ancora.
Okay.
Because these stone walls are so thick, a total of 3 beams were used for each doorway.
I love it.
Long talks and awkward silence, late nights walking through the garden, running with your hand in mine.
We knew our new bathroom would have no natural daylight unless we did something drastic, so we removed some of the slate roof and cut out a hole to install a new skylight. Before closing in these walls, we needed to squeeze in as much insulation as possible. The insulation was required by code on certain walls, but we did our best to leave as many walls with exposed stone as possible. As you'll see later, the contrast between the old and the new is stunning. A few years before we purchased the house, a beautiful new roof was added. However, it was done so without insulation, so it didn't meet current code requirements as a home. Our options were to tear off the entire roof and start over, or to insulate from the inside. Insulating from the inside proved to be dramatically more affordable, and then later we would add back a new wood ceiling. In order to create as bright of a space as possible, we install white ceiling paneling, first running our electrical conduit as we went.
Don't leave me behind here. I've just arrived. I've been waiting for someone to take me away far.
The next layer to this flooring system was a vapor barrier as well as a very thick double layer of insulation. In preparation for our plumber arriving, we ran an air intake to the fireplace, prepared the wall for the AC units, and installed part of the toilet. Once the plumbers arrived, it was time to install all of the water lines throughout the house.
All pipes have to go through several rooms of holes that we've created. There's 1, 2, 3 rooms that we have to pass through and bring all the pipes back here. Sessanta, sì?
60 da 60 tutto di qua.
Ok, va bene.
Next, the electrical arrived, and it was time to run all of the electrical conduit in the walls and floors that we would later pass our wires through. While the electrician was working, we brought back Andrea to dig out a channel in front of the house to connect a series of water lines and electrical lines. The original plan was to do the drywall ourselves, but due to a time crunch, we brought in a large team to handle the drywall very quickly.
Due ce ne abbiamo ancora a te.
Arriva. Troppi tubi.
Troppi tubi.
Now that all of the pipes were in place, it was time for another layer into this flooring system. This layer is simply to cover up the pipes to create a flat surface for the in-floor heating pipes to lie on. The process of pointing the dry stack stone walls was tedious and took us several weeks to get through, but it was a very transformative process that ultimately made this old stone barn look much more like a home. In Italy, the electrical wires are run after the floors and walls are finished, using the conduit that we had installed previously.
Non viene? Sì, 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 un po' più. Vai. Ok, basta. Fammi vedere. Sì, a posto. Perfetto.
Our second to last layer of this floor was the in-floor heating, which would be a very effective way to keep this house warm year-round. We needed some very large stones for an upcoming building project. We wanted more outdoor space since the terrace was so narrow. So we decided to dig a little further into the mountain to harvest more building stone and to create more usable space. The ability to have essentially our own stone quarry and to dig out more stone as we needed is a huge blessing and not something that we took for granted.
His method of carrying this rock is ridiculously impressive. He's got it pinched between the bucket and whatever that thing is called. These are all the stones. They're all kind of stacked up. This is where it used to end, and then we've dug that much more. And he's flattening that area out, and then he's gonna work back this way.
One of the doorways was missing a stone threshold, so to match the rest of the house, Bradey found a stone from all of the excavation work and chiseled it to be the right size.
This style of stonework at the entrance to the barn is a very typical design in this region. It's a very historic design, and we wanted to preserve it. Unfortunately, we had to remove the stones in the building process of everything else, but we're now placing them back and then bringing in a nice, beautiful stone to act as a step. And then we'll have these beautiful stones to sit on outside as well as a step up into the house.
And finally, the last layer to this complicated floor system is the final concrete screed, pouring over top the in-floor heating. Now the only thing left to do is lay the final flooring.
Wow, this feels somewhat surreal, to be honest. Being at the finished level, it kind of changes the whole perspective, and finally to have a solid surface to walk around on. To get to this stage where we are finished with the in-floor heating and all of the tubes are covered and safe, and be moving into a new stage where we're literally pretty much ready to lay tile in the bathroom. We need to close up a few other things first, but my goodness, we are really moving on and could not be more happy.
Because the road is so narrow driving up to the property, it is difficult to park a car and turn around. So we used the large boulders that we had excavated before to quickly make a small retaining wall to allow more space to park our car.
This is my first chance of getting a look at the color here. It's all covered up in film, so it's hard to get a sense of it, but I really am loving the large glass doors. This is for the entrance right here to allow a lot of natural light to come in.
Calzalo. Non riuscivo. Calcolando che io mi è su una base di negozio per andare anche.
Well, that's it. All of the doors and windows have been installed, which is such a huge milestone. I'm very thrilled that we were able to keep solid glass doors to let in as much natural light as possible. And this right here, our little window seat with the view, is really exciting. Being able to sit right here on this little window seat, enjoy the view, look out, have the fresh air coming in. That is very, very exciting. This fireplace is looking really, really nice. We rendered it the same color as the walls here, and obviously we can paint these any color later on. But we've done two things. One, we've finished all of the render work, and then we've begun to close in there. And obviously it's really dark, hard to see, but this will be closed off completely very soon so that none of the nastiness from up in the chimney will ever come down into the house. And then we've closed in the pre-existing fire pit that was here. We've added an air vent that brings in air from the outside in order to keep the fireplace burning well. And then you can see the beginnings of our two vents here that will help recirculate air into the room behind this fireplace. And then I know the lighting is terrible right now, but if you can just imagine this beautiful fireplace sitting right inside there, it will be just stunning.
While the process of renovating this home has been more challenging than expected, it also has been more rewarding than we could have ever anticipated. It's taught us that we are capable of so much more than we could have ever imagined. And really, things are just getting started, and there are so many exciting projects we have planned for the future. To be honest, the most ambitious project we have ever taken on is just now starting. If you enjoy the process of hand-shaping the stone to build the new room, then you'll want to watch the next few videos as we take on the most ambitious project of this entire renovation. We'd love to have you follow along by clicking that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our journey. We'll see you next week.